Hi everyone, I'm Angie with the Painted Feather, and I am live here on the Chalk Paint 101 page. Happy Tuesday! And I am a retailer in Northern California of Dixie Belle Paint, and happy to be here today. I'm here every day at the same time, or not every single day, every Tuesday at the same time. And you can find Dixie Belle Paint at Whistle Stop Antiques in Santa Rosa, where I'm an elite retailer, and also at Ray's Trading Company in Sebastopol, where I'm also an elite retailer. So as you come on today, let me know where you are at in the world. Hi, Patricia. And I'm gonna go ahead and get started and tell you what we're going to work on today. Hi, Sue again from Australia. How are you? So I'll turn this piece around so that you can see what it is. It's just an inexpensive laundry hamper. So I'm going to turn it around. I kind of already started a little work on it. So here's our little laundry hamper that we're going to work on today. Hi, Dolly from Ireland. Hello. And this is just an inexpensive MDF piece and nothing special. And I got to thinking that it could look so much more special if I'm kind of zhuzh it up a little bit with a new Dixie Belle transfer. Don't know if I'm going to get to doing the transfer today, but I'm going to blend some paints. Hello, Willie from Holland. I'm going to blend some paints so that this transfer will look really good on this piece. So here's my inspiration. I'm going to show you. This is the new cacti and succulents transfer. Hello from Scotland. Man, we have like a lot of people from all over the world showing up today. Glad you're all here. So this, I'm just going to show you real quick. Sleepy North Dakota. Hi, Lisa. Again, hello. Okay, so we've got this is the succulents and cacti transfer. I'm going to try to show you all the pages here. So that's one. Here's the second one that you get with this. I think there's 6 in here altogether. This is my favorite sheet. Look at how beautiful the colors are on here. So that's number 3. If you have little projects that you want to do, look how cute these are. That's sheet number 4. Hello, Oot from Germany. How are you? Okay, that's our sheet number 4. Here's sheet number 5. And finally, sheet number 6. So I thought, well, I've been looking around. I got all my transfers and decoupage papers that came out from Dixie Belle in the other day, and now everything I look at, it's like, okay, can I decoupage that, or can I put transfers on that? So the whole house is going to have transfers and decoupage papers. The world is coming in. So hey, Jen, you caught me live. How are you? Orlando, Florida. Hey, B. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to probably just do the sides, and we're going to use the new Best Dang brush, very large brush. Everybody's been saying this is amazing to blend with, so I'm going to let you know what I think about it. And I may do one side with the Best Dang brush blending, and then I may do the other side with my favorite, the oval medium brush. Maybe we'll do like a comparison or something. You're good. Awesome, Jen. So I don't know, we'll see how it goes, but this has been my favorite blending brush, but I'm gonna use this brush today. See how much larger that is? And this is a natural bristle brush versus the synthetic brush. So maybe we'll do a little compare and contrast today. And let's see, I want to show you the colors that I'm going to be blending. So I'm going to hold this up so you can see. Maybe we can set that there. Will that work? All right. So here are the colors that I'm going to use. I'm going to use Vintage Duck Egg. Hello from New York, Long Island. Hi, Deborah. So Vintage Duck Egg, Haint Blue, which is really pretty. Very light just bright blue. I use it instead of white sometimes if I'm highlighting furniture that has blue on it. And then I'm gonna do Palmetto and a little rusty nail. So hold on. These colors, okay? So you see my cactus colors here. So we're gonna try to kind of tie all that together so that when I put this on the piece, it'll just look very cohesive and pretty. And these are all very soothing colors. You know, if you pull the colors out of nature to put on a piece, you're gonna make it, it's gonna look good. So if you ever wanna know what goes with a certain color, if you find it in nature, then you can make it work. So I could have used other colors on this instead. There's really beautiful pinks and purples and other greens, and then we've even got a little bit of kind of a purpley black. Aubergine would have been a good choice for this, but I picked these colors and that's what we're gonna go with. Is the lighting okay for you guys? I kind of had to draw the blinds or the shades because I was getting a glare, so hopefully the lighting is okay for you. So let's go ahead and get started. On the very back of this, I tested it out because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't gonna have any adhesion problems. I cleaned this piece with White Lightning Cleaner, and then I did a really good sand with my orbital sander on it, except for the parts that I couldn't use that on, and then I used the rad pads in those spots. Hey Deanna, how are you? So anyway, good scuff sand, and then I tested it on the back and I'm not having any adhesion problems, so I don't need slick stick. So you don't always need slick stick if you're putting it on something that is not real wood. Like if you can sand the surface and get a little bite on it, kind of break up that surface, this kind of has a painted surface on it, then usually you can paint with a chalk paint and you're gonna be okay with it. So that's just a little FYI there for you. All right, so we're gonna start out, we're gonna get kind of a crumb coat on this whole thing. So let's do that. And then I'm gonna dry it, and then we will do some blending. I'm gonna put this back so I don't lose it. And get it out of the way here. Okay, set it down. All right, got that out of the way. And I personally like to have a different brush. Hello, Gail from Tennessee. I like to have a different brush for every color that I'm using. You don't always have to do that, but that's just me. That's, you know, get comfortable with what you like to do. That's what I like to do. So I will go ahead and put a coat on the front here, but I'm going to start on, I don't have any, I should have put little feet on this, but that's okay. And my crumb coat, I'm just gonna do one color. You can kind of put the colors you're gonna blend where you want them to be, but I'm just gonna put a coat for the paint to bite onto my first coat down. So let's just get a quick coat of Haint Blue down on this whole piece. And I'm just doing a real thin coat just to get the paint on, okay? And I'm gonna kind of lubricate the surface of this whole thing with my spray bottle. This is a misting spray bottle. You can get misting spray bottles from Dixie Belle retailers or on the Dixie Belle site. And so I'm kind of going different directions here, and then I'm going to smooth it out in the direction I want it to go. This is just my first, just real quick and dirty kind of coat for everything to grab onto. And like I said, if you're blending and you want to put all the colors that you're using on the first coat, you can. I just think it's more work, and I like to have kind of a homogeneous first coat, you know, one that levels the playing field for every color. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and use the Haint Blue. All right, and so it's very thin coat, and now I'm just smoothing out all my brush strokes. I'm gonna go up here. I'm not gonna do the top right now, but I'll just go across there. If I'm missing any questions, I'm just gonna pop back over here and see if I missed anything. Okay, looks like we're all good. If you ask a question and I have my face over here, painting, I do circle back. Sometimes it takes me a little while, but I do circle back and answer questions later. And if you're on here and you're a retailer and you want to answer questions, or if Chalk Paint 101 is on here, sometimes they're starting to come on here, then they can answer questions too. But usually there's really helpful people and painting people watching. So if I don't answer something, it is fair game, you guys. You can answer. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a crumb coat on this too. I may or may not paint the front of this today live. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to, because I'm gonna be blending the sides. So, and then as far as blending this, I don't know how I'm gonna do this since it has these slats. We'll see. Might have to get a little more creative with this, but the sides are, I already know what I'm doing on those. So we'll just get our first coat on. And don't worry about it being awesome coverage. Second coat will take care of that. All right, and then spray it. This goes so fast when you just decide, you know, just to get the paint on. And I love the mini angle brush because it gets in all those little grooves really easy. This one I've used a bit, but if you wash them and take care of them, they will last you quite a while. I have one I have to try to resurrect because I did a live and I went in the house and it kind of got kicked under my drop cloth, and now it's like hard as a rock. So I have to see if I can resurrect my mini angle, one of my mini angle brushes. I'm so sad, but we shall see. Have any of you had success bringing a brush back to life? I've heard if you soak it in White Lightning cleaner for a while that works, or let me see, I think Murphy's oil soap, people say that works. You know, let me know if you've ever brought a brush that you let dry out back to life. So I've tried it a couple times. Wasn't that successful with it. So, okay. Almost done with this coat on the front here. Get into those little edges. Okay, now we've got, over here, just gonna smooth out a few things. Okay, that's looking pretty good. And now we're gonna turn to this side here. All right, last side. So lubricate, mist the surface so that the paint glides around nice and easy and that it gets nice and thin, and so that you lice comb. I have heard that too. So what do you put on it before the lice comb though? Like, how do you thin it out? How do you get the paint nice and soft so that you can get it all off of there? Because like if I used a lice comb on mine, it's like stiff as a board right now on the ends. I mean, I could cut the ends off. I've done that before too. Okay, so crumb coat, get your paint on. And this is a super light color, and actually, somebody may know this, Haint blue, I believe in the South, it's a color that they used to put kind of under the underside of your porch, or, you know, where you look up when you come in on your porch, people would paint them the Haint blue to keep evil spirits away or something. Am I right on that? Does anybody know this story? It's kind of like the word haunt, but it's Haint. And it keeps the bad juju away from your house if you paint the underside of your porch and the entry of your home the Haint blue color. So if you've got any bad juju around your house, you can just use this color and be good to go. Okay, so I've got my crumb coat on, and we're gonna turn this, actually I'll dry this side and we'll start on this side here. So Anybody do any projects in Haint Blue? Such a good color. Okay, so I'm going to put my brush over here so I don't dry that out. And we're just going to dry this a little bit. I'll just dry this side, and then maybe by the time we get to the other side, it may dry on its own. And the good thing is when you put just a little bit of paint on, it doesn't take very long at all to dry. It goes really fast. Hi, Linda. You're on again. Hello, Carol. We all keep meeting like this. All right. Anybody working on anything good today? Let us know. Let me know where you're watching from if you came on late. Now, when you're using a heat gun, you want to keep it moving so that you don't bubble up your paint. This is drying really fast because I have just a super, super light, thin coat on here. Okay. Almost done. So I want it nice and dry because then I'm going to be blending, working on a nightstand as you're watching me. Awesome. What colors are you using, Deborah? And are you using chalk mineral or silk? That's what I used to do all the time when I was learning to paint. I would watch tutorials and I would be painting as I was watching them. Okay, almost dry on this side here. Okay. Pretty good. Chalk mineral caviar. And what are you going to top coat it with, Deborah? I like to use hemp oil or put a little caviar in my clear coat, or I just spray it and then it's good. Okay, I think that's good. I actually did a top recently in caviar and I clear coated it with gator hide and it was still looking really dry, and then I put Big Mama's butter over it and it looked fantastic after that. And they say it won't soak in on the clear coats, but it actually looked really great. The Easy Peasy, yeah, that works really good for the black. The caviar is kind of a little tricky to get a perfect finish as far as clear coat, but if you know what you're doing. Okay, Chris Donna had a video today on cleaning brushes. I'll have to check that out. She's awesome. Okay, so let's get to blending. So I've got 4 colors here, and I'm not gonna put these on like super duper even because I'm gonna be using the cacti and succulent transfers, and I'm gonna kind of tie in the colors on those based on kind of where I blend some colors. So this is not gonna be like super even everywhere. Oh yeah, the Big Mama's Butter is such a great product. I would say that it's probably like my favorite Dixie Belle product. If I had to pick just one product I could only use the rest of my life, which that would be torture, so I hope I don't have to do that. But I would probably pick Big Mama's Butter because it smells good, it works great, so functional. So, okay, I've got almost all my paint opened. Shake them up a little bit. And now I'm just gonna put everybody kind of where I want them to go. So I'm gonna start in the middle and go out. You can start in the outside and go in, however you wanna do it, but I have a brush for each person here. And I'm gonna go in, and when you do this, you don't have to, don't make your paint look perfect where you're putting it. So I'm gonna have the Haint Blue in the center. It's kind of hard to see because I'm putting it on the Haint Blue. And not too thick, but a little thicker than that crumb coat. So I'm kind of making a rectangle in the center of where I want my Haint Blue to be. And full strength, my brush is damp. Okay, so I think that's pretty good there. Now my next, I am going to go evenly with my vintage duck egg around this. So I'm going to go Haint blue, then I'm going to go vintage duck egg, and then I'm going to kind of place rusty nail and palmetto in some different spots. So let's go in with my vintage duck egg now. So let's just get it full strength on. And then we're going to be spraying it. So we're going to thin it out a little bit. See if I'm missing anybody's comments here. I can use that over clear satin. You can try it. Like, it depends on the piece. But if it's porous, I've had good luck. And I've had it end up being like a nicer sheen after I've used the Big Mama's Butter. So it's all trial and error sometimes. So most people don't put that over a clear coat, but I've done it actually a few times, and it ends up, when a piece is just like lackluster and isn't looking really pretty, for some reason it really helps out. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm gonna take palmetto, and I might go a little bit out with the vintage duck egg. Okay, so I'm going to decide where I'm going to put some palmetto. So kind of, let's see here. I'll do some palmetto here. It's okay if I get it on the lid. I'll be working that in later. Okay, let's do palmetto. Let's do a little down here. Maybe I'll kind of go opposite corners. Okay, palmetto. And now let's go rusty nail. So I'm just using my, let's see, this is the round large brush here. Okay, Lisa, do you think that colors change in popularity based on, I think, yeah, Lisa, I think there's certain seasons that just bring about thoughts of, you know, springtime, or of course, Christmas time red, or, you know, just right now, the succulents, I'm inspired to do this. I'm doing a big cabinet using dusty blue with a black magic voodoo stain, a few flowers down from the top. Oh, that sounds amazing, Kendra. I love the dusty blue. Okay, whoops. I'm talking. I messed up. Okay, I need to get my rusty nail brush. I just stuck my clean brush in the rusty nail, but okay. No big. I'm going to blend these colors anyway. All right, so let's get rusty nail. Got that a little thick, so I'm going to thin it out a bit. And then we're going to blend these colors and see how that goes. And we're going to use the best dang brush. We'll see how it looks. It looks kind of pretty as it is. Got a little bit more over here. And I have just a paper towel that I'm going to be wiping my brush off as I'm blending these. So maybe I'll bring you guys a little closer. Okay, there, that's pretty good, right? All right, let's get to blending it. So I'm using the best dang brush, and here's how I like to do this. We'll see how it goes, because this is a quite large brush here, but I like to swirl the colors together. What were the first two colors? The first color is Haint Blue. Second color is Vintage Duck Egg. Hi, Connie from Waco, Texas. Yes, hello. Okay, Haint Blue, Vintage Duck Egg, Palmetto, Rusty Nail. All right, so I am going to blend these colors in a swirl. So I'm going to just start swirling. And I'm using, oh, I want a little bit of water here. Using my best dang brush. And if it gets up on that lid, that's okay. I'm going to be working on that later. Okay, so I'm just going to go around in a swirl pattern. Get my brushes out of the way here. But you can see already that it's starting to blend those colors. So keep your misting spray bottle handy. If your brush starts getting too gunked up, wipe it off and keep going so that your colors don't get super muddy on you. Okay, I'm swirling. Actually, I may kind of go back and forth a little bit and swirl. With this brush, I'm kind of feeling like going back and forth may be better. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Okay. Actually, going back and forth with this brush seems to be working really well. So let's just do that. See how already that's blending? Very chic country. Okay, hold on. I'm going to see what somebody is saying. Oh, okay. I think you're talking to somebody else, Kendra, which is fine. Okay. So a little mist. I'd like to keep this brush kind of dry, is what I'm finding. And then let's see how it goes here. All right, I want to wipe it off a little bit more. Actually, I'm just going to wipe it right on my drop cloth here. I've missed it a little bit. And I'm not going too far out here. Just kind of trying to blend the middle colors. And now, there we go. That's really pretty. All right, I'm concentrating. I'm quiet for once. I'm going to wipe off my brush a little bit more. See how those colors are starting to look really pretty? Either you have some very tiny hands. The brush is very large. I do not have tiny hands. I actually have kind of large hands. This is a huge brush. So I recommend holding it down close to the brush, you know, the bristles. I am getting some fibers here, so I'm going to pull those off. You can take a sanding sponge and get them off if you want. So maybe try to, you know, get all those fibers off beforehand, but here we go. I'm still blending here, so let's, yeah, I'm kind of holding it close down to the bristles. But it's making quick work out of it. All right. And I'm gonna wipe it off a little bit more. Just finding different spots on my drop cloth. I'm gonna wipe it off. So all these colors are kind of spreading out, blending and creating all these variants of colors here. Oh, I need a little more water. And when you're blending, so you're going to put transfers on, it's kind of a little different scenario than when you're blending just to make a real pretty blend. Like I want some of these colors to be really popping out. Okay, so you can go one way and then go back the other way. And I'm going to use a real light hand here to try to get these to blend. But this brush is working really well. Yeah, that's looking really pretty. Okay, now I'm going to kind of go get a little off of my brush. And so I've got a little bit more of the red over here and down here. Actually, I want to add a little bit of the rusty nail down here. I want more of that. So maybe a little more here. So you can add a little bit as you go. I'm going to add a tiny bit more of Palmetto too. To give it a little depth around the perimeter here. So wipe it off. Am I missing your questions here? Oh, let's see. Works so good with blending. Yep. Are you putting pressure on your brush? No, I'm like barely. It's like barely any. So I'm just, it's kind of just wisping the paint across. Actually, I'm going to go this direction now. Just really very gently. And then I'm going to hold up the transfer to this so you guys can see where I'm heading with it. Oh, it sounds like somebody's doing some gardening. I hear some noises. You can do this as with kind of an ombre look too, but yeah, I'm liking that. It's kind of hard to get on the bottom here because I don't have this up on something, but that's looking more like I was thinking here. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of water. And that's looking really cool. All right, you see how that's looking now? I don't know how well your lighting is, but so we've got more of the rusty nail up here and a little bit down there. And then it's just kind of one color fading into the next. So let me show you what the transfer is going to look like near it or by it. Yeah, that's looking really pretty. Okay, so I'm probably going to use some of these on it. See how that looks? Like, see, let me bring in a tiny bit more. Drag you in here. I make it look easy, Linda. It's pretty easy. It's actually pretty easy if you just have a game plan. But look how nice that's gonna look with that. Isn't that pretty? So this is gonna look really good. My inexpensive little piece that is for laundry is gonna look amazing. Okay, let's do the other side, and I'll do it with the synthetic brush, and we'll see how I think about that as far as blending. Try that. Let's see. Yep, I've got a few minutes, so it doesn't take a whole lot of time. Let's just do the other side and blend that real quick too. You guys can have a second look at blending these colors. Now, if I want to go back another time and put on more, I can, but for now, I think that's kind of pretty. Okay. Sorry you guys have to listen to all that noise. I don't know if you could hear the gardening going on, but okay. Let's go to this side. All right, so let's get, I've got to get some of the stuff off my hands here. I'll pull you back a little bit. Okay, so now, thank you, Kendra. All right, let's do it again. So center is Haint Blue. Let's get our Haint Blue in the middle. And actually, yep, I don't even have to dry this. It's already dry. The other side I dried with the heat gun. This one is good to go. So let me get my paint a little damp here. I'm gonna make my rectangle in the middle. And I'm not worried about it being like perfectly symmetrical with the other side because we're blending it anyway. It's gonna all work out. So you don't have to worry about getting your measuring tape out here. Just slap some paint in the middle. All right, so I've got, it's hard to see, but I think I've got that where I want it. Next color, vintage duck egg. And that's gonna go around that. How are we doing today? Let's get our vintage duck egg around here. These brushes are so nice. I love the mini angle brushes. They just have a completely different feel than the other brushes I use. Love them. Okay, so there's, get that. And now let's do, okay, hold on, my brain isn't working. I have to see which edge I put this on now that I turned it around. Okay, so I've got the green on this side and the red on that side, and then opposite. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do, all right, so I'm gonna do Palmetto here. Well, on the front, I'll decide, but I won't get to that today on this video. Okay, Palmetto, let's do opposite. Get it where we want it. It starts to kind of blend as you put it on anyway. Palmetto, and then let's get our rusty nail. So the swirling didn't seem to work real well for me with that brush because it's quite large. My hands aren't that giant, so the swirling didn't really work, but the back and forth motion worked really well with the Besting brush. So let's see now, let's use, oh, hey Amy, how are you today? So I'm going to use the oval medium brush now, and let's kind of compare. I want to compare how this is compared to using the Besting brush that I was just using. So let's check that out. All right, so when I use the synthetic brushes, I do like to get them a little damp for blending. So I'm going to get this a little damp, and I'm going to spritz this whole thing. So I'm going to show you how I like to blend with this brush. The other one I ended up doing back and forth. So I'm going to go ahead and do what I normally do with this, and I'm going to swirl the colors. I'm going to have to probably wipe it off quite a bit here and there, but kind of where they meet, kind of swirling them together. And then we're going to go back and forth with it. Okay. So I'm just swirling all these colors. I'm going to wipe it off a little bit. And then it's creating all these different variants of colors as we go. And now I'm going to just keep on going on, swirling them together. I'm going to wipe off my brush a little bit, especially as I get to the center, because I want to keep that center lighter. Okay, so now we've got them all swirled together. That looks pretty like that. Love the blending, always learn something new. Everybody does it a little different, and I think they're all good. You're just learning to blend. You make it look easy. You left your caps off. You'd be covered in paint. Well, I'm getting used to it. I have dumped my paint several times, so don't give me too much credit. It does happen. Yeah, actually, that's a good point, because I'm going to move them away. You said that, and now it's like a target on it. I'm just going to move them out of the way here. I could put the caps on, but okay. So now I'm going to go back and forth. Actually, here's what I like to do. This is the way I like to do it, to make sure. Hi, Angela. Okay. Now I'm going to go like in a box pattern. Okay, this is how I like to do it. Although that's looking kind of cool as it is, but that's not what I'm going for. So I'm going to go in kind of a box pattern. So this way, bring it across, go back up, and then like a little maze. Bring it through. And that's how I like to do it. Okay? And it works for me. Now I'm going to go back and forth. Okay, I'm going to wipe my brush off. And now I'm just going to go back and forth. And light pressure here, not a ton of pressure. Matter of fact, you can change your grip on it so that you don't, you know, have too much pressure. Now I'm getting a lot of that center color toward the outside. That's okay, I can add more dark. I generally have to do that since I blend this way. I usually have to go and put more dark on the outside. I'm gonna do that right now. So let's do a little, that's why I have my caps off so I can go back in on my paint. I like to modify as I go. So here we go. A little of this. And a little over here. And then let's get a little bit of Palmetto. Okay, am I missing anything out there? All right, wipe my brush off. And now I'm just gonna go back and forth. Wipe off my brush. And so it is kind of dragging this out from the edge, but that's okay. This is gonna look, it's still keeping that center light enough where it's got that kind of pop. But this is kind of an irregular blend, so I don't want it to be like all perfect and symmetrical with the colors, because I want it to pull different colors from that transfer. And it'll just be kind of a nice, pretty blend. That's looking nice. I just love this synthetic brush. The Best Dang brush actually worked really, really well. I mean, honestly, I love this brush. This is my fave. So, but it actually worked really well. So either one, you're not going to go wrong. Oops, got a little bit too much red right there. And just drag it across here. All right, now I'm going to hold up my succulent transfer again. That's looking pretty good, huh? You guys see that? Hello. Okay. I'm just seeing if I missed anybody's comments here. You tried several times but failed, Oot, as far as blending. I love the blending. I always learn something new. Good. Okay. So I'm really liking how this looks. Let me hold the transfer or the succulent up again one more time so we can see where we at. Well, we're out of time. So look at, okay, look how pretty this is. So we've got kind of that really pretty blend, and put that where my paint isn't. So these transfers are so awesome. You just make your furniture look like artwork. Look how pretty that's gonna look on there. So if you look at this, I mean, I could have used like the lilac color. I could use, I don't know, pine cone or some oranges. There's so many different options that you could pull out of this. Isn't it pretty? It'll be so good. So I may go live on my page this week and put the transfers on. What do you guys think? Maybe I'll do that. So anyway, if you don't already follow my page, it's called The Painted Feather by Angie, and I'm here with you every Tuesday, 1 o'clock on the West Coast, or 4 o'clock on the East Coast, so Pacific Standard Time, or 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And if you need to get Dixie Belle paint, you can go to the link in the description of this video and click on it and order all these goodies right now. I'm not positive if the transfers are on there yet, but I'm going to be putting them on my site, so you can get them from elite retailers and the brand ambassadors right now. I will be loading them on my site too, because I have them all in now too. So anyway, yeah, I was comparing the Best Dang brush and the oval medium, and they both actually worked really, really well for blending. So either one, you're not going to go wrong. So if you need one of these brushes too, you can get one from Dixie Belle retailers or in the description in this video on that link. So anyway, go blend some paint, go try something new, and I will be back next week at the same time. And I'm on Dixie Belle Monday night at 6 o'clock. All right, you want to see? Okay, I will go on. I'll have to figure out when I'm going to do that. I'll announce it. So when using transfers, try to match the paint. I like to try to, you can match it or you can go a complementary color. And so complementary colors, like the green and the purples are complementary. You can look at a color wheel and decide too. But, you know, if you find colors in nature that go together, they generally will go together with furniture too. So, and then sometimes you want to do a really white background if you have something vibrant, or I don't know, it just depends. Pull a color out of the transfer. What are the paint colors you used? I used Haint blue is what I did in the center. If you're watching this on a replay, hashtag replay, please. Haint blue, vintage duck egg, palmetto, and rusty nail. That is what the color combination is there. So hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you all next week. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will post when I'm going to go live to do the transfers on this. All right, everyone, have a good one. Bye.